Hey everybody, Susan Lazar-Hart here with your Ask Susan Sunday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, I'm going to do that. Okay, sorry, it was asking me for something. Do you notice recently any of you who do Facebook Lives that all of a sudden they want to start a conversation with you? Anyway, here we are. I trust that this space and this place, right? So I'm stepping into my knowing. Will create a whole lot more than we ever thought was possible. And that's actually what this Ask Susan Sunday is all about. Our theme is trust. The energies of the word trust, what that means to you, what that doesn't mean to you. Just waiting for a minute for the algorithms to kick in, and let's see what else is possible. That's actually what I think I'm saying that word a lot. It's probably in my head. So, what I've noticed recently with a lot of my clients and people writing me is that they actually trust their struggle more than they do what else is possible, right? So let's just play with this for a minute. When we ask what else is possible, we're actually playing with the universe, with the endless amount of possibilities, right? So it's about lowering your barriers and really asking, so I wonder, what else is possible here for me that I haven't been willing to be or see, right? Because you actually have to be willing, right? It's not just about asking what else is possible and having the universe rain on you, right? You have to be willing to receive the rain, right? So often what stops that receiving is when we don't trust our knowing, right? When we don't trust that the universe has an endless supply of possibilities for us to choose and to act on. And so what we end up doing is going to what was. It feels familiar. It's something that we know. It's something we can count on. Even if it doesn't work for you, right? There is something there that does continue to work for you. And maybe it is that you're actually trusting your struggle more than you are yourself. So I'm just going to wait for the algorithms to kick in. I'm not sure. I think maybe by something that I pressed, I might have eliminated everybody else seeing this. So let's just see for a second. I'm going to do this. If not, I'm going to just come back in and start again. How does it get any better than that? Okay. If anybody can see me live, can you give me a thumbs up or a heart? Oh, okay, cool. Thank you so much. All right. Thanks, Trisha. Just checking in here, right? Yeah. So that's a perfect example. I'm asking, okay, so I actually don't have a point of view of how we are creating, what we are creating. And I know that the way that I like to create is by co-creating. So I can reach out to all of you and ask, hey, can you give me some information? That's a what else is possible, right? So, you know, how many of us have been taught at a very young age to stay with your struggle, to trust your story, to trust your history or herstory, right? Trust the belief systems that you were taught. You've got to work hard for everything you get, right? Life is a struggle. It's not all easy. You got to have a lot of rain to appreciate the sunny days, whatever that is for you, right? There's nothing there that actually invites you to trust your knowing, to trust that you know what's true for you, right? So that's where I'm playing with this this month of April. There, you know, I can give you examples of. I'm just thinking of clients that have come to me and that actually left because they actually didn't want to put the work into creating with what else is possible. Right? To creating with the possibilities that are here for us. And so instead they keep showing me reasons and justifications of what can't work. Well, if you know anything about me and the kind of coaching that I do, we go laser sharp. And it's about being present with who you be, what you be, and what you came here to be and do. And asking, where would I like to be 3 months from now, 6 months from now? How can I chart that course? How can I play with my future? How can I receive what the universe is offering me, right? It's not about finding proof of why something won't work, because it always hasn't worked, right? So again, how many of you were taught to only trust proof? Right? Now, proof has to do with the past. Proof has nothing to do with the present and has nothing to do with the future. And actually, if you're the kind of person that looks for proof of why something won't work, you're like one of those people who goes on the beach with a Geiger counter after everybody's left the beach and they're picking up rings and money and all that kind of good stuff. Because they're going into somebody's past, right? They're going into where people have been, and they're gaining from that. So everywhere you were taught that if you go through the muck of your past, you're going to find some jewels. You're going to find proof that there's a reason why you always have to go through your past with a Geiger counter. You can ask yourself a question, right? Is this creating the future that I'm asking to play with? Right? Does this satisfy my desire to create with the possibilities that are here for me that I haven't been willing to be or see? Right? So it's about trusting in the present and playing with the future rather than saying, but I always struggle with this. So, I've shared a lot with all of you about my writing. And what I'm asking myself is every time that I sit down to write now, or that I get inspired, or whatever that is, to just kind of like download all the lifetimes in which I was a writer, right? All the lifetimes in which, now that's not struggling with my past, that's downloading, right? What actually creates greater for me. And letting go of any point of view that I've taken of what writing is or isn't for me. Now, how do I play with the possibilities? How do I trust in with the universe? Well, every morning I get up, I meditate for half an hour, and then I just write. It can be anything in the world. Some people call that freeform writing, some people call it whatever that is for you. But I just write. And so by just writing with no point of view and no judgment, just 2 or 3 pages, and then go on into my day, no matter what I've done that day, I know I can trust that I've opened up the creative juices for more to be coming in, right? So that's a perfect example of creating and playing with possibilities that are here for us already, rather than going into all the reasons and justifications of why I'm blocking myself, right? Again, simple tools, being very present with what does trust in with my future mean to me. Again, if you say, well, Susan, I've tried this and I've tried that, and it actually doesn't work for me, you're not in the future anymore. You're gleaning, just that person on the beach with a Geiger counter getting the jewels. You're gleaning what you've decided are the jewels of your struggle. And that's why today I'm asking, are you trusting more in your struggles than you are in your possibilities? So, this is not a dialogue or monologue, it's a conversation. Come on in with your comments and your questions. And if you're watching this later, hashtag replay, and let me know what's popping for you. I put in yesterday on Congruent Living, what does trust mean to you? I'd like to create this kind of conversation all during the month, right? Of just, let's open it up, right? Because again, trust has a bad rap. People use trust against each other. Like, I trusted you. Right? I knew you would do this because I trusted you, and this always happens to me. How many people use that kind of languaging when they're looking at a relationship and they're struggling in a relationship because they're trying to create it from something from the past, not actually trusting in the possibilities of letting it go. So here's your home play for this week. Would you be willing to let go of everything that you're holding on to so the universe can actually gift you with what you are asking to create with your future? And again, as long as you're dragging in the past, your history, right? As long as you're saying, yeah, but I gotta struggle, I gotta figure this out. Someone was telling me recently they were listening to some information of a podcast, and they said, oh, you've got to go through all your past and figure it out before you can go into the future. No. Yes, ask who does that belong to. Yes, you'll get these awarenesses, right? Yes, ask questions. Be in the question. Don't stop your life until you figured out where your struggles came from. Because that's a habit. That's just a habit you can trust, right? You were taught to trust that habit at a very young age. Let's figure this out together. Rather than, I wonder what else is possible here. What other possibilities are here, right? How many of you were encouraged to actually open up your vistas and your views of yourself in the world and tap in, tune in, and turn on to the possibilities that are here for you. Right? It's not about proof. When we trust that we're struggling with that area of our lives, it's an area of your life, right? And for the most part, you've boxed it in. That means you've got to undo the box, dive in to your crap and see what's going on, because you can trust that it's going to be a struggle. Like, I always, when you hear yourself say, I always, this has always, we've always, our family's always, that's, you're trusting the struggle. It's that simple. It's like, oh, so what would it take to change this? Well, you'd actually have to like tap in, tune in, and turn on to being an infinite being. You chose a body, center yourself, feel the planet, the ground beneath your feet. Take a deep breath and ask, if I wasn't choosing this struggle, if I wasn't choosing this, what could I be choosing? What could that look like? Open your heart up. Get a sense of, oh, there's a possibility, right? Be quiet with that possibility and really bring it into the present. Yeah. And trust that you know. It's a whole different way of being. And how much fun can that be? I wonder. Well, there's no comments. What else is totally possible here that we haven't been willing to be or see? Don't forget your own play. I want you to be with you, right? When you bump up against something that you're using as a reason and justification for why something can't happen, stop, take a breath, get present, open your heart up to you and to the future you're asking for, and energetically bring that into you. Do that 3 times a day, and let's see what that creates for you. Looking forward to your comments. As always here, I adore you all. Live boldly, love greatly, and be that fearless leader that you came here to be. A fearless leader is one who is actually willing to step into the possibilities, right? With no point of view. Oh, thank you. Eva says, thank you, Eva. Hey, write me a little note, Eva. Let me know what popped for you, and everybody else who's coming on in or who's been listening. Know that I adore you, and I will see you with a quickie. Oh, Tricia said, thank you, Tricia. I'll see you with a congruency quickie on Tuesdays, and let's keep this party going, right? I'm going to be asking you more questions as the week goes on, so come back into Congruent Living, and let's check in every day in every way. I wonder what that could create. Bye-bye. Have an amazing Sunday. It's sunny here in Montreal. Yay!